Before we go to the break, some really sad news. Today we have lost an absolute comedy legend. I'm sure you'll have seen this in the news today. Norm Macdonald passed away today far too soon, far too young, after a 9-year battle with cancer. A battle that Norm never told anybody about, because all Norm ever wanted to do was to make us laugh. And he was absolutely brilliant at it. There was nobody quite like him. I felt privileged any time I got to be in his orbit. He leaves us as one of the all-time great comics, perhaps the single greatest guest in the history of late-night television, I think. I mean, Ian, you would have known and worked with Norm far more than I ever did.
Yeah, I did work with him a few times. I was lucky enough to do that. But I think most stand-up comedians, like, were lucky enough to work with him because he worked so much. He did so much stand-up. He just, like, truly loved it. And he was maybe the best at it ever. Just so funny at everything he ever did. He was, so, like, the funniest talk show guest, funny during interviews, funny doing stand-up, the funniest at roasts, just effortlessly funny. It was insane. It's insane.
He could take the most inanimate thing and make it hilarious in a heartbeat. Like, I can remember when he was here on the show. Do you remember he did a whole bit about Mickey Mouse? He was like, and it came from nowhere. I think he wasn't like a planned bit. And he said, Mickey Mouse is huge at Disney World. If you see Mickey Mouse at Disney World, you're like, kids, go on get him. Oh, it's Mickey Mouse. And he goes, you see that same Mickey Mouse in a 7-Eleven, you are holding your kids back like, whoa. Because he's only big within the confines of Disneyland. You must have crossed paths with Norm, Reg?
Yeah, I did. He was like part of that whole crew, you know, Dana Carvey and all those people that really had such a huge influence, you know, from the sketch world, stand-up world, into movies and film. And then he had his talk show for a long time, and I kind of worked next to his set. Sometimes I'd sneak into the set to take a look at it. But yeah, he was a legend, man. I mean, he's just, I have massive amounts of respect for him.
You just never knew when you were like, you never knew what was coming. It felt, watching him do like stand-up or like talking to him felt like watching a magic act almost, in a way, like where you didn't know what was gonna come next. You were just like completely in the palm of his hand. With other stand-up comedians, you can kind of like, or if you've done stand-up or comedy for long enough, you're like, all right, I can kind of know where this is gonna go. I kind of know where this was gonna go. But like with him, it was just completely out of nowhere. And that, like, losing him, there's not a next person up. That's like a true one of one.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll miss you, Norm, so much. Our thoughts are with all of Norm's friends and family today. And thank you so much for the laughs, Norm. We'll never, ever forget them. We'll be right back, everybody.